Okay.
Well, hi everybody. Very, very pleased to welcome on board Becca, who's now tell us first of all little bit about your channel.
Yeah, my channel is called Brendan Talks, and it is 100% about Brendan. So everything from supporter pictures, that videos I make, to we have Positively Brendan that happens every Friday night, to even court stuff that we discuss. It's all about Brendan.
Well, Becca, I would have to point out that one of the dude's greatest sayings was "keep it classy" for Brendan Dassey, and I would say that your channel, absolutely superb. Also, Tracy Keogh, I'm sure you're a great admirer of her work with her podcast, the
Yeah.
sixth hour. And it was just interesting when I first started following this, and I discovered the various people that almost it's as if the Stephen Avery thing that'll take care of itself, that's being taken care of, but my focus is going to be on Brendan. I mean, when you first watched the documentary, was that your feeling that I'm not sure about Steve, but Brendan, this is just
Oh
so
yeah.
corrupt.
Yeah, I think just like a lot of people, the second you saw Brendan even just walk onto the scene, I just absolutely, my heart went out to him. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was definitely for me. It from the second I realized that a 16-year-old kid was involved, it was very Brendan focused for me.
yep. And when Brendan is interrogated, as you say, as a 16-year-old, well, I don't mind admitting that you were probably of a similar age then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're of a similar age group to
Yeah,
Brendan, and so therefore I fully get the fact that he likes conversing with you, you like conversing with him.
yeah,
um yeah but
yeah. What I know a lot of people say when they watch the interrogation and they see their kids sitting there and they see their child that they have or whatever. But for me, when I was watching it, I actually saw a little bit of myself.
yeah,
And I think so, like, I think that's where a part of me kind of went out to him. Is I saw another person who at the same time, around the same age back then, would have had the same issues with him being interrogated.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is that one of the best interviews I think I saw was of Richard Ofshe, and the guy interviewing him, he's quite a famous, he's been on a few, he's done a few articles about Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey in general, and he says to Richard Ofshe, but he said, well, if I'd have been Brendan, I would have just told him to go away, and I I I,
Yeah,
I need to speak to my lawyer. And Richard Ofshe said, yeah, well, you know you're the sort of person that we never get to hear from, because he's obviously a false confession expert, and he said, yeah, okay, but that's you realizing that you need to lawyer up, as they say. But
mm-hmm.
Brendan clearly hadn't got a clue about that, did he? I,
No.
I mean, I often thought about this, is when they arrest him, is it only for one day? It's almost as if, can I do the interview tomorrow? And if I come up with different answers, can I be let go? It's
Yeah,
is that how you took that as?
I think so too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he didn't really have a fully understanding of what was going on, and yeah, no, it was definitely, if he could have been like, hold up, and then like redone it, then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so anyway, let's move on to what's happening next Sunday. Quite
Sure.
exciting. This keeping it keep talking till they're walking. So we've got yourself and Linda. We've got about 12, as I would call them, studios on the go.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking it as separate YouTube channels, I like the idea of us all coming under the same sort of banner, as if we've got this one big, complex, TV studios, and everybody's got their own TV studio. And looking forward to that. And any thoughts on the dude?
Um, just that, I had a very little interaction with him personally, but from what I have had was nothing but just positivity and just wholesomeness. And honestly, and a lot that I do, I have a lot of supporters and advocates that I look up to, but he's definitely been a what would the dude do?
Yeah,
um as far as like how I do respond to things and how I do treat the channel and what I do try to talk about.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. And I mean, one of the things that quite early on the dude kept talking about was the control question.
mhm.
It got to the state where just about every video he did, he would mention the control question. And I did a few videos with him, and the control question would come up. And then the Mark Hardin did his first interview with him, and I said to him, I said to Mark, I said, please, at some point, ask the dude about the control question, and you'll see his face light up, and he will go on a not a rant, but he will go on a monologue for a good few minutes talking about the control question. And sure enough, he did exactly that. I mean, everybody focuses on the who shot her in the head, or he did, but this control question, what was your thoughts on this? We know that she had a tattoo. Did you see it? I mean, what were your thoughts on the fact that
I I thought that that was really cool that he spotted that and that he used that as part of a way to show people that it was a forced confession, that it was
yeah,
planted in him, that Brendan had no idea of what was actually going on.
yeah, yeah. What's interesting is the fact that in defending the state in trying to uphold Brendan's conviction, were able to sort of tick several boxes, and one of them was this box about the fact that, well, they did a control question, and and Brendan passed it as far as they were concerned, and
Yeah.
it's like. But you've completely misinterpreted the English language here. The other one that was always fascinating to me was the significance of the fact that they keep offering him, you know, um, soda and sandwiches,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, you've just confessed to doing this horrible rape and stabbing and throat cutting and all this. Would you like a sandwich?
Yeah, very
it,
casual.
it
Yeah.
was so bizarre, but I never understood the significance of it until I read The Anatomy of a False Confession by Michael Cicchini, his follow-up.
Yeah.
Did you ever
I
have a chance to read that one?
I actually just got it and I was
Yeah,
like just gonna start reading it after another book that I started. So I'm
yeah.
actually really excited about reading that one.
Yeah, I must admit there are some excellent publications out there, aren't there, when it
Yeah.
comes to this case. But also, you were telling me that you've just received Sandra Lane's book, Dr. Sandra Lane's book,
Yeah.
The Innocents Betrayed. Enjoy that one.
That's
It
the one that I have to finish before I read
it's yeah,
the
it takes some reading, but I actually no, I'm not old, right? And I don't mind admitting this, right? Sandra Lane's dad, I used to work alongside in Melrose when I first moved up to Scotland.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, yeah, that's
That's a
right.
small
Yeah,
world,
a
huh?
very small world. Yeah, I'm good friends with the it's Sandra Lane's um, brother and sister-in-law, or sister and brother-in-law. They're like musical, and some of their
Oh,
kids are good, very good accordionists. So yes, I've bumped into the son a few times, and it's a good crack with them. Anyway, listen, I'm not going to keep you much longer. We're really looking forward to, obviously, keep talking till they're walking.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to ask you finally, how's Brendan doing? Because you are one of the lucky people that get to chat to him regularly. I can't help thinking
Yeah.
that obviously you've as much as you like him, he obviously likes you and likes chatting with you. So could
Yeah.
you give us the latest update on how he's doing?
Doing really good. He's keeping busy with lots of watching movies, and he loves getting new music requests, and he loves sharing those music lists with me. He was really excited the other day. He got popcorn on his unit, so that was awesome. But yeah, he's always so positive and uplifting and full of like positivity and just I don't know, it's just always like a fresh of breath air talking to him, and every email I get reflects that.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And
he's definitely, I think he's hanging in there.
good. And is he able to sort of stay reasonably updated with the situation? I mean, do the lawyers get in touch with him from time to time to keep
Yeah.
him up to date?
My understanding is that every once in a while, when something happens with either Zellner's case or even his case, I believe that the lawyers do keep him up to date and explain to him, like, this is what it means for you, this is what it could mean for your family, this is what's going on. So yeah, he's very up to date and not naive at all about what's happening as far as what's going on as far as case wise stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it must be, you know, it must be difficult for him that he's
Yeah.
kind of at times he's in the middle. And at the moment there is a little bit of fallout, it would seem, between but anyway, we're not here to talk about
Yeah,
that. To
yeah.
talk about that,
I just
it's
know he loves all his family very much,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Keep being positive for Brendan, and also I was going to mention, it would be remiss of me not to mention that, of course, you've had the opportunity, like myself, to chat with the moose on a regular occasion. What's that been
Yeah,
like? What's
the
that like?
moose,
Yeah,
Pete the Birdman Dassey.
yeah,
Oh, he's an absolute joy to have on the channel. Like, he's full of laughter and
yeah,
positive. Like, and I'm not joking when I say this. Like, when you talk to Pete and when you hear Pete and interact with Pete, it's just the same as Brendan.
I was going to say it's that kind sort of. I mean, Pete often refers to shits and giggles, and I get the impression that Brendan would be like that as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I have talked to Brendan a few times on the phone. So, but even just in the way Pete says things, it's almost the same as the way Brendan says things. So
yeah,
it's honestly, it's a real joy to have him on there, and I know Linda probably feels the same way, that we're very honored that
yeah,
he's doing that with us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, I, as you say, I do see similarities. I see a strength in them that
Oh yeah,
a strength in Pete that's been passed on to Brendan, and
yes,
that's it's good to see. Um, I really feel sorry for Pete, because he really didn't have much to do with the case when it first kicked off in March. He really
yeah,
is as a bystander, almost the same as everybody else. I don't think he's had much sort of interaction with any of the sort of legal teams. It must be difficult for him. But
hmm
he is, as I say, very strong-willed character, and you know, let's hope that with this latest motion that we start to see some well, I think at the moment that the case is incredibly strong. I think this latest motion, it's a bit of a bombshell.
yeah. Well,
An actual sighting of the RAV4 being pushed on the property. I think that's absolutely huge. And we wait and see what the Court of Appeals decide, whether to remand it back to Angela. But it just seems as if it's another delay but in the end, it's something that has to be done because of the, this procedural bar thing that the state are so keen on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think even though I personally believe that Bobby is innocent, I do think any movement in the case is positive.
Hmm.
And if anything, if it brings Stephen and Brendan home, then the goal is met.
Yeah, I must admit,
So
I'm struggling to see a motive for Bobby.
yeah,
I know that what I find strange was the fact that Bobby and him seem to get on really well, as Steve did with Brendan as well.
yeah.
Very friendly, doing things together. Stuff like that. Um, I don't see a motive for Bobby to have committed murder. What I do see is the possibility that he has had influences exerted on him that has caused him to, I mean, certainly the perjury on the witness stand, when we hear him, was it Brian that said, well, Bobby told me that it couldn't be Steve because he saw
Yeah.
her leave, and then Bob confirms that, and it's like, well, hold on a sec, let's rewind. This is huge. But it makes you
I think
realize the sort of pressures that the family was
yeah.
put under by Wiegand and Fassbender in particular.
I do think though that if anything could be taken away from what Zellner's saying is that somebody did see something
Yeah,
and reported it, and then the police ignored it. And I
exactly.
think that's the important thing to take away from it, because
I
that's where the Brady violation is.
Yes.
So
Yeah. At the moment, it's interesting, isn't it, that Zellner often refers to the state's, the state's star witness. That is the important thing to remember here. I think first and foremost, isn't it? That in order to reverse this conviction, you need to go back. You need to try and rewind the clock.
yeah,
Anyway, listen, Becca, I know it must be past midnight for you.
it is midnight for
It
me.
is, yeah, yes. I'm gonna let you go and keep on supporting Brendan, and we look forward to
Yeah,
yourself and Linda next Sunday as part
I'm
of this.
very, very excited and very honored to be included in this.
Well, it's as I say, you're one of the top people when it comes to keeping it classy for Brendan Dassey, and that's what the dude was very, very very keen on. So yes, I'm gonna say cheerio and let you crack on. And we'll see you next weekend.
All right, thank
Cheers.
you.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye bye.